No one can tell us what to do.
Nice.
Hello. It is so nice to see you here on the Isle of Roux. We have all ventured from far and wide to be here together, and we are so grateful. It's so nice to see you. So nice to see you. Ah, wonderful. This place of imagination and wonder. I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement. It's our 6th iteration of the Roux.
And can I tell you something else?
What?
It would also be our 610th consecutive Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, because we stopped at 4.
Right. There's so many things we can celebrate.
Everything. Also, our first February Isle of Roux.
Oh, will next week be the February the 14th? Or is that the week after?
It's the 12th.
That'll be close enough.
Yeah. Also, it's a full moon next Wednesday. Full moon, Valentine's Day.
We'll have to get a red set. A redder set.
More red than our beautiful.
More red even than it is right now.
Okay, I'm going to start with
this is our family drapes. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. And there's actually 6 drapes here that we can move around and have like layers of. And in the summertime, you'll see the most beautiful downtown view or sunsets for sure.
The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mohkinstsis, is the ancestral territory of the Siksika Sitapi, the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Sitena, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nation, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, and play on these lands, and who now call this place home. We are so, so grateful that we're able to spend tonight with you. What are you grateful for, Rick?
I'm grateful for so many things. I'm grateful that the trade war was put on hold.
I'm grateful.
You know what? We don't buy a lot of American things, but like our friends and neighbors would have probably suffered. But also, we stopped selling things. So
we're doing good. What is our letter this week?
Here, hold my duck. The letter H. Well, we did spin for the letter H, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's brought to you by the letter H.
Here we go. This might be it.
The letter this week is H. You're on video tape or your spinner? Backwards? Okay, here we go.
Hecate.
H.
Hecate.
Happiness.
Humans. Oh, sorry.
Hippos.
What do you have against hippos? Horizon, honey, hue. Like colors. What's your favorite hue?
Yeah.
Were you able to click it off? Did it go?
It was just finishing.
You got to click it off.
What do I got to do?
Groove.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know, if we need music,
That is so nice.
I can do this all night. Hello, hello, hello. Amanda, did you get your mail? Your fan mail? We wrote your fan mail. Okay, so it was kind of a nice treat for us. Is the mic on?
I think so.
Could somebody indicate whether you can hear us speaking? It was kind of nice to not have to get people to share anymore. But if you do want to share, it doesn't hurt. So there is that. I'm going to share right now. I'm going to copy the link and post it everywhere.
Oh, fun. Amanda is
Did you go to Twitch this week?
Twitch, yeah.
Oh, Twitch. Awesome.
Yeah.
We know nothing about. We have to try and use Twitch, like from the other end.
Should Oh, like, yeah, watch somebody else and see it.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
If you're on Twitch and you have a Twitch account, share with us, and then we will be able to Twitch with you. Twitching the night away. See the lady. Let's go. In blue jeans.
There's a lot happening tonight. Yes, we have the letter H.
The letter H.
And so we were talking about hues. We're going to talk about color.
Color.
And also we thought about honey.
Honey.
And we thought about hippos.
Hippos.
And so we had a condensed weekend, but we made a lot of use of it this weekend.
Didn't we?
We have a lot of fun videos for
We have
you.
a video from the honey place.
Yeah, the beehive.
Are you going to sing Honey Pie tonight?
Oh, I will. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good idea. I have good ideas. You know who steals my ideas? Rich T. Roux. I kind of miss Richie. I do.
We're going to make art together, and if you want to jump on and come from your
get up on this
video from your studio, let us know if you also need. Oh yeah, I can share it. If you
also tell me if you can read the new 403-629-7424 and or PO Box 13035 Beltline RPO, Calgary, Alberta, T2R1C6.
That's good. That's a lot longer than your phone number.
403-629-74. You can send us a text if you'd like to.
You totally can,
yeah. Felix is going to join us, isn't he?
Yeah. So on the weekend, we got him set up. So now he's going to come join us from his studio on the broadcast.
Got 3 people. I mean, that could be millions, but 15,000 people watched last week or saw. Difference between seeing and watching. Yep to see. Yep to see. Theo, can you hear our voices? Yep to see. What does that mean? Oh, yeah. Amanda, yes, we can hear you. And I got the tiger and the bicycle paintings. Yes, I'm watching for Twitch tonight. Last week, face was kind of acting up on me.
Okay, that's good to know.
Good.
Then we have lots of different options.
Yeah. Cancel the algorithm. Oh, sad me. Look at what happened. I drank all my tea. I got a broken fist. Couple of old fogies singing their 90s punk rock songs. When Felix comes on, we're going to surprise him because his follow bracelet came.
Oh, yes, to hear.
Yes.
Yes.
Theo, are you going to join us? Wasn't really an option. Theo, join us. Just kidding. You don't have to if you don't want to. Guess what's going to happen tonight on my side? What are you doing?
I'm still working on my mouseies.
Let's get over here. No, put it here. Okay, just ignore me.
Where?
Here.
It's just little. You can't see it.
You can. You go like this.
You can see the little.
Watch this. Watch this even. Watch what I look what I can do. Thank you for noticing our new banner. It's an amalgamation of the banner that Felix helped me design and then the other one. And my design...
where is the join thingy?
Join thingy. That is a good question. How about right here? I put it on Facebook. That's the letter V. That won't work. Invite. Copy. Paste. Paste. Invite. Copy. Paste. Fire. Remember we set the alarm off? Was that live?
Yes.
Ooh, this might be another thing like that. Oh, where's the lighter? Where is the lighter?
Right here.
Pass to me. Jesse had never seen this before. I wonder if I could do it. What would be the best way to do it? Can you see that online?
You are indomitable.
I'm crazy. Let me put the lighter on. No, I can't see it. Okay, don't spill it.
Stop playing.
Especially on the carpet. The only thing we have that's nice in this house, if you ever want to break in, are our records and our carpet.
Books. Art.
Okay, hue tonight, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you mix all the hues together?
Black.
Black. And this is new to me. Have you seen how it fires? What's the color?
No, I've never fired it yet. So
Oh, what if the black clay fires white?
that's why it's called what that would be.
Mm,
I
that
don't-
would be the worst.
I don't think it would, because like terracotta and like iron based doesn't fire too different than what it looks like.
You're so optimistic. Did you check to see that it is clay? What if it's like air dry putty or something?
It's
and-
plainsman. It's plainsman.
Did
Here,
you check?
I'll Google it.
It would be
I'll Google what
kind of funny
if it just melted in my kiln.
if it just turns into some weird toxic gas that you weren't expecting.
I guess I should look at the box.
Oh, there's Theo. Oh, Theo, there you are.
Hi, Theo.
I am in love.
Good evening, peoples of the Roux.
How are you doing this week?
I'm okay. You know, other than having to freeze to death to go bowling, okay. Yeah. You know,
True.
the things we put up with for our acts of socializing.
That is true.
Do you have your own ball?
Oh, yes.
Do you have a ball like in a bowling bag?
Yeah, at one time, and if I was still bowling competitively, I'd probably be lugging around 3 or 6.
Do you have a shirt with your name on it?
Somewhere, but you know, I don't wear that for bowling because I'd have to find it.
Our staff Christmas party was at a bowling alley, and I threw like, I don't know, 60 gutter balls in a row. Everybody's like,
We're in a 10 pin.
arrows, and I'm like, shut up. But I did not. I'm not a bowler.
It was, what was it, Rich? 5-pin.
So you don't need to buy balls for 5-pin usually, because they're not custom fitted to your hand. Although some people do buy their own balls for 5-pin.
I was assuming you were talking about 10-pin.
Yep.
That was my assumption.
10-pin, WEN-pin. Okay.
I'm just checking to see what's going to happen to our table after it touches the clay. You know, it's like a bugger to clean off the school table. What are you doing on your phone there?
I'm looking at the clays from Play.
L Rose Flo, why don't you join us? One day Chris Cran will join us. He clicks like on everything. He's so supportive. What are you looking at?
I'm looking. Look, the closest I can see that looks like it is called coffee, but I don't think that's what it
Coffee.
is. It's a cone 6 stoneware.
Isn't it? Okay.
That's what I was going to fire it to. I was going to fire it to a cone 6 and just see. If it burns, then I know it's in low fire. And if it looks...
Theo, I muted you, so just click yourself back in when you're ready to talk.
Yes. So
I wonder, actually, so like we hear a lot of like thumping and breathing from Theo's end. I wonder if the audience hears so much of that from us. Theo, we're going to get you a nice mic. You must have a nice mic. You seem like you would have that product. But I'm going to get you one anyways.
That would be nice, but I do have a mic, an external.
Which mic do you have? What do you have? Is it plugged into your camera or what do you have?
I love the piano you're listening to.
Yeah.
I got one of these things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah.
Is it directional?
Could be.
You know what would be ideal is if you had one of those gamer headphone mics, and then we'd hear you clearly, and your music would be pumped into your ears, and there'd be no risk in tricking the algorithms into saying copyright infringement. I don't think they're going to hear you now. But one thing I noticed is, and I hadn't accounted for this, I was like, how will they ever watch a 2.5-hour broadcast to see if we're like infringing on copyright? And then I realized they transcribe it now like automatically. So like all the transcriptions would be easy to scan, like Miles Davis playing in the background. What are you listening to, BTW?
What am I listening to right now?
Yeah.
It's CJSW. Off the bandstand? Can't remember the title. Gordon Hilton Fick.
Sounds like a good one.
Jazz program.
Yeah. We just got a 8-album box set of Miles Davis. It's great, except I don't want to go to work anymore. I'm going to stay home with my family and listen to jazz. You know how it is.
Yeah, you know. Hey, vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about hubris.
Hubris. I might even be able to show the process. You want to see the process? Here we go.
Yeah.
Present. Video. What did I call it? Ick? Highway? No. Icarus? Oh, here we go. Ick. Ba-bam. Remove.
That's so lovely.
Isn't it? Thank you. Icarus. Because of hubris. H. And I used one color for hue.
And then one highlight. One highlight hue.
Highlight.
The nice orange and that blue.
One highlight hue. What's more interesting, the tops of our heads or this bad mammo jammo?
That's pretty nice. I like seeing your tea in that stainless steel.
Zoom in. When I work with clay at school, I often talk to the kids, okay, both of us need to move here.
Yeah.
So do not shake on the table because I get tired of replacing the tabletop. But I'm also shaking the table. So hold me accountable to that. One of the things I tell my kids at school when they're working with clay, and like most people that teach like a clay class or something will talk about joining clay and using slip and scoring and using slip. Whereas when the kids are starting out, I want them to have an instant success. I don't want them to, because every time you'll pull it apart and they'll stick it back together, they'll smooth the edge. And I'll go, you need to use slip. No, I don't. Look, it's fine. And then when it dries, it just breaks and you can see inside where they didn't use slip. It was like, and every time I 100% called them out, I'm like, do you see these two pieces? Here's where you didn't use slip. They're like, it's like magic, Mr. Taylor. It's like a time machine. And then so I tell them to start with, they should start by, I had my mind on something else. They should start by making it all out of one piece and pinching it into a shape.
Yeah.
And that way, first of all, you won't have as many pieces sticking out. Like, please, for your first art piece made out of clay, don't put a long tail on a rat or something, or octopuses with tentacles are great, but keep the tentacles kind of bound
curled
together.
in together.
So that you got pieces all over the place to snap off, and there's always disappointment inherently built in.
Yeah, we always talk about the different prayers you say in when you work with ceramics. It's a lot of prayer to higher powers. There's lots of different prayers that are said.
You say we, but I don't have this process, so tell me more about it.
Well, I just feel like I
this
just
wasn't me backing out.
No. I just
I
about
will start saying clay prayers.
I just about graduated in ceramics. So
right.
my first 3.5 years in ACAD were in ceramics, and I had all the chemistry courses. I did everything, and I loved it. And we prayed, and I listened to.
Is that part of like the
Zeppelin 3?
Yeah, was that part of your program?
It was part of it inherently, because even if you do everything by the book, you work 8 hours a day on your practice, and like just no matter what you do, things can still explode, slump. So the idea is like, just like you got to pray. And then when I found out I had to fire a grad kiln for the grad class, I just immediately switched to sculpture, because they don't have electric kilns, or they didn't, and you had to keep it at a certain temperature, and you had to make sure everyone's grad piece didn't die. So I was like, nope. And then I jumped ship. But then I will be teaching like high school art, and I'll be showing them like, look, this is like a really dangerous piece to put in the kiln because it could explode. And then I'm like saying a bunch of prayers,
and like you see the kids' eyes light up, and you're like, no, do not intentionally explode. It's not the kind of explode you're expecting. Yeah. It's not like fireworks.
It's a quiet, like in the night.
It's like
you won't hear it, but everyone will feel it.
All your friends' artwork is ruined, kind of fun.
And yours.
Not what you're expecting, right?
Yeah. So it's like the prayers are like, when I pack the kiln, I pray to, I actually don't even know who I'm praying to. So now I'm like curious as to like where the words go. But I think the word is definitely prayer, because I'm like putting everything in just right. And I'm praying that this piece go. And I said very good prayers this year, because so far none of the kids' pieces has exploded.
Yeah.
And
we're reading the Dharma Bums together.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And
very exciting. Hi, Donna.
He talks about Kerouac talks about his friend who would sit with prayer beads on the mountain, and how unusual it seemed in North America to see this groovy cat who's so virile and mountainy sitting cross-legged and praying.
I really like all of the complexities in that book, because I like that the idea of prayer, it can be so many things, like the idea of talking when they're talking about a haiku, and the idea of trying to get to the simplest form of an idea.
They do a better job of explaining haiku in that book
than I've ever heard.
Yeah, because your typical junior high school English teacher is so fixated on the number of syllables.
On the syllables.
Because it's like they teach haikus so that they can express what a syllable is, you know?
Right.
I express syllables when kids have to go to the bathroom. They go, Mr. Teru, can I go to the bathroom? I'm like, Teru. 2 syllables, Teru. My name is Rich. Teru. 3 syllables in total, right? It's not Teru, ooh. If you ask that, you get nothing.
You get
100%. If you ask me with 5 syllables, the answer is no. I'm not kidding.
No, I love that. Good.
What's your favorite clay tool?
A pencil, actually.
Mine is a pencil also. I'm just using this plastic spoon from my lunch, or knife, because it's like the one tool. I have this mech winterized like fork, spoon, and knife. I've never used the knife.
Right. Well, now you have.
Yeah. That's why I saw it. Like, that's a nice color.
I love that. I like that a lot. And
I'm not firing anything anytime soon, so I'm going to put this in your kiln.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Plus, I want to put all the same clay together so we can because I'm going to fire it hotter than my other stuff.
I also talked to, and I might have these numbers wrong because I have to check this. Maybe someone can check this for me. Whenever I hand out clay, there is an awe in the room when the kids touch the clay. And I say, that's special, isn't it? And they go, yeah. And I go, it feels familiar, doesn't it? And they go, yeah. And I go, when did you use clay before? And some of them say, like, I went to a pot place or whatever, they always have like some kind of answer. Some say no, I've seen it, but I've never used it before. But my experience is everybody feels a familiarity when they touch the clay. And I say that's because my ancestors and your ancestors were related more recently than when we started working with clay. And that is to say that somewhere 40,000 years ago, the earth was reduced to 5 mothers. But we've been
What a beautiful
Dave told me that.
way to say
Yeah.
5 mothers.
Yeah, during the Ice Age, there was a certain time when we were reduced down to all the living people in the world can be traced to 5 mothers in the. I don't want to say that it's the basket of Africa. I forget what it's called.
Cradle of life.
The cradle of life. Yeah. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty neat. But it's also there's evidence that Peking man made things out of clay, which means our ancestors have been using clay longer than we've been human.
That's the weight of it. And then I also, on the flip side of that, say when the aliens or whoever's coming next in 40,000 years from us.
Yeah, careful what you make.
Right? Like we have a power.
Stay forever.
And our fabrics will deteriorate and our hair and our drawings, but our clay will be here. And I think what a beautiful legacy to leave behind.
So I had an urge to make something that would sort of sit next to the Venus.
And the Venus?
Yeah. However, I'm also pretty good at representations. So part of me wants to just flex and do like a perfect human.
Do you think that they were, I don't know if it was about style or if that's what they were, it was a symbol.
What they saw?
Well, this is how I talk about it to my kids when I show them the Venus. It's shocking, first of all, because I'm showing junior high kids the Venus of Willendorf.
Right.
And then I'm like, yeah, like, look at those hips. Like, this is the fertility. This is life. And for the first time in humanity, people were thinking about tomorrow and a future rather than just right now.
I think
it was
that
the symbol of life.
I think that
and
there's
hope.
stages of development in seeing.
Yeah, right.
And I think that the early artworks, people were able to look at that in basic shapes and go, oh, that's a human.
Right.
But they would feel like it, like when you're learning to draw, right?
Yeah.
And I think of like knees and elbows.
Yeah.
When I was starting to draw kind of comic book stuff out of my imagination, I would sideline.
Like Jessica level right now. Just kidding.
Kid once walked. There's these certain sort of diminishing comments people say sometimes. Like one of them is often like they talk about your talent, like, oh, you're really talented, and there's something kind of diminishing about being told you're talented when you're an artist that we inherently kind of rebel against. But then non-artists, they actually just think they're giving you a compliment. But there's something kind of diminishing about taking the magic that I'm creating and reducing it to talent. But also like there's certain diminishing things like it's going to be kind of a Willendorf. I have made the Venus of Willendorf a few times.
Yeah, I have. We have a few here.
I was kind of Simona. I was kind of thinking of a Mr. Willendorf. Can you grab it?
Yeah.
The other diminishing thing people will say is like, oh, I have a cousin that really does art, but they never did anything with it. And I'm not sure why I always hear those exact words. But those are pattern of words that you will hear from people that don't really know how to open up. No, it's sweetheart. It's over here.
Oh, this is the other one? This one?
Yeah.
Look. I'll show you mine too.
Oh, you made one?
Yeah.
You're right.
And you made one too.
I gave mine away. I give them all away.
But you give them away.
That's my problem.
And this is what so I made this Bubba. Oh. Porcelain with like a high fire glaze.
Yeah.
And this is for good luck. We put it in our pocket.
Yeah, totems. So, yeah. The diminishing comment I got one time when I was drawing like an action guy kind of like doing backflips. And I was having kind of a low day because I knew the elbow was in the wrong place. And this guy kind of walks up and he goes, oh, you basically memorized every possible position. And I was like, well, it's not really what I'm doing here, memorizing, so much as I learned the body shapes, and I learned the interior, and I learned the anatomy. I started from bones inside. But the idea of like reducing that to just memorizing other people's drawings kind of wounded me unnecessarily. I could have let it slide. 30 years later, I'm still griping about it. But I do have a pretty good sense for anatomy. And so there is part of me that's like, it's really a struggle for me to keep this kind of simple and kind of ancient. Oh, this is what I was going to say.
Symbolic.
Is I think through the ages, as human beings got better at art making, like that feeling you would have when you're looking at, oh, this is right, but there's something wrong with the elbow. I can feel there's something wrong with the elbow. And at first you can't really see what's wrong with the elbow, but something's wrong with the elbow. And then when you start to see, oh, I see what's wrong with the elbows, or you look at your old drawings, you're like, I didn't understand elbows back then, from every angle or what have you. And that's what I think happened with people. There is in the 17th century, you can see initially, like this is more like a baby's proportions where the head is 1/4 the size of the body, right? And then adults have the head is 1/6 the size of the body. Maybe mine is a little more correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My legs are too short, but the head is more appropriate in terms. And then so when you would see in the 17th century, they would have an adult and a baby. The baby would have this tiny little head like an apple. And then one person somewhere in the world realized that the proportions were off for the children. Then everybody in art corrected in the same year. Like basically.
I have a question.
Yeah, what? You don't have to put your hand up in our class.
Do you think it came with the use of the camera obscura? Were they only able to physically see it by use of a different tool? Or do you think one person saw it and then showed everyone? Like showed, quote unquote.
Okay, so let's just think about that for a second. And I can only answer this as a thought experiment.
Yeah.
I we think the camera obscura existed from around the 15th century.
Yeah.
So that means for 200 years, nobody put a kid in front of a camera obscura. But that's possible, would make sense because kids don't sit still, like don't work with children or animals is the rule, right? So is it possible that nobody used a camera obscura on a kid for 200 years? Is it possible I got the date wrong? I think it's 17 in the 1700s when they made that lead. Although, those styles were kind of entrenched, right? So
yeah, I was going to say it could also just be iconic.
Just the way you
paintings.
do it. Like sometimes knowing too much can also put you in danger. Like, oh, I happen to notice that the kid's head is bigger, but if I
start drawing it differently,
everybody will tell me
and no one will commission me to paint Mary and Jesus anymore, right? Like
unless he has a little apple-sized head.
Little baby man. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I like the idea of H being for holy. We're talking like I think that's where my head is at too, with the idea of like holiness, because we've been listening to the Dharma Bums.
Right, Ginsburg, holy, 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 holy.
Yeah.
What's he say next?
The idea of the what's the name of the god?
Starts with a noun.
That we have outside.
Mm-hmm.
Moloch. Sorry. Oh no! After he says Moloch first, and then he says holy, and then he says that the something is holy. This is holy. This is holy. Everything is holy. I love that. The idea of the holiness in every person.
Right.
And every being.
Right.
I like the idea of like demystifying the word too, so it's like bringing it to everybody.
Yeah, sharing it.
Yeah, because I don't like it in the secular. Is that the right word? Secular term? Like I don't like it.
There's so much baggage.
Yeah.
And
not that I don't like it. That's not how I should say it.
No, I know. It's just like
the idea of opening it to other things.
I think that like, and we tend to be on the pinko commie side of things. So, I think we're open to supporting everybody. But sometimes it's like you feel almost like you're going to alienate people if you start talking about like the existence of a god or that kind of thing, or holiness, or it gets caught up in those kind of like
dogmatic conversations.
Right.
I think
that's where you lose all the people too.
I love you. That's what is important, no matter what.
And then sometimes people are just listening to like half of what you say and applying their own baggage.
Right,
And then all of a sudden, instead of getting like a warning, somebody just deletes you. And they're like, no, that's not really what I was saying. And it happens on both sides, right?
Yeah, it's okay. I think that's okay too. You know?
Yeah.
Like it is bad, like not bad. It's like sad when if someone were to like half hear someone and then get hurt. That would be sad because but yeah. Humor also starts with H. Holy humor.
I think I have a video on humor. I'm not sure where it is, but
I think, yeah.
That would have been good for tonight.
I thought you had it ready, but maybe.
Do I have it ready?
I don't know.
This is a funny thing because now I have sticky fingers.
Do you want me to look for it?
You could just click on there and just take a look. It might be it's one of the early Dead Kevins.
I thought maybe it was on your desktop.
Do you want to try that? Do you know how to do that?
No, you can walk me through it, maybe. Or
okay.
I can try.
First of all, you have to stand like an Egyptian.
Stand like an Egyptian.
Did you see me adding clay without using slip?
When it's tiny pieces. Oh yeah, you have water.
Hold me closer, tiny pieces. No, I scored it and everything.
Present?
Yeah.
Or do I have to?
Yeah, you go there. That'll open up in my folder. And then just take a look. I might have thrown it in there if I had the foresight. It might be on my other computer.
Video file?
Yeah. Is any of those Rich and Dead Kevins?
Oh, there. Someone says, if it breaks, it's tragedy. If it bends, it's comedy.
I don't think I have that one queued up. It's actually, I think, on this computer.
Here, don't worry. I can look. You don't need to stress.
No, it's okay because I can touch the mouse here. And if I do, I wonder if like the reason people thought the Facebook was glitching is maybe freezes up when we do too much like this.
Right.
Put it back into the right folder, the Isle of Roux and February 5th. It's the bottom there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cancel?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is maybe the one or this one, but those are movie files, so I'd have to change them to this might be it. I'll give it a try. I think the screen freezes. Maybe that. Let's give it a try. I just got fed up with the gatekeepers and the. That's for a different day. That one is not about humor. That's a movie. It won't play movies. It's got to be. Well, maybe it will. Nope.
That one.
Maybe we don't worry about that right
Yeah,
now.
that's okay.
I'll do humor next week.
Humor is good for every time.
There'll be no humor this week.
Oops, I laughed.
So we did not. Oh, Amanda said she went and checked the mail. I was going to say we checked our mail again yesterday.
Oh, look, she did get the letter.
Oh, then you need to log on and read it to us. Or I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, but you could. Did you find the link?
So we
I'm getting clay all over the computer stuff. Can you wipe that?
Yeah.
We went Tuesday to check the mail and there wasn't any new mail. But there might be today.
Yeah, and they don't have to log on to read the mail because that's like a fun thing.
Okay, it's just private.
I don't know. It's up to it's totally up to Amanda.
Well, kind of what I want to happen is to get more mail, so keeping the momentum going.
Right.
But
that's fair. So if you send a letter, we love writing letters back. That's good flow.
You want to talk about the mail, though? Let's talk about the mail. Here we go. Present video file. Fan mail. Send us a letter and we will send you fan mail.
I really loved the typewriter in the time lapse.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
Now, you've mentioned that a few times.
I just never used time lapse, so it's like
yeah, well, it's not
fun
just that, but I think you also set up the camera, which is interesting. I think you have a deeper connection to the films that you take part in.
Right, that's fair.
That's not to say you're not connected to the films that you don't
Right,
take part
but
in,
it's
but
just
to say that like I've noticed a pattern of like you really are engaged with that one more so than the others. Not it's not coming out
I
right.
understand what you're saying. Yeah,
Like,
it does. You're not.
No, I'm trying to acknowledge that like you took the time to set up the angle, and so you kind of like the difference between your photos and my photos, right? Like I like the photos I took. I also like their view. But then I start liking the photos you took because I get to see me.
Right.
I didn't used to be in the photos because you weren't interested in photography.
Right. That's pretty fun.
It is pretty darn fun. Again, keeping the
You're right. It's pretty exciting getting mail. It is exciting getting mail.
I know, right?
It's true.
Like, and it's funny too because a number of people asked us what we do since we shut the gallery down. And like it is impossible to explain to people the joy of the Isle of Roux without their eyes glazing over. And sometimes I'm worried they're worried about my sanity. Like, oh, I think he's lost it finally.
Finally.
Like this isn't really like an if anymore.
I've started bringing goat to teach my classes. The kids love it so much. Or they're scared of her.
Yeah.
But it works.
I'm trying to make something like the male equivalent of who dat? Okay.
Magpie.
Technical observation here, Rich.
Yep.
If you're going to make the equivalent of the Venus of Millendorf male guy, you have to exaggerate the sexual characteristics of the of the male.
I thought I might de-exaggerate them. What my thoughts were was that I would de-emphasize the male in contrast to the emphasized female. But I hear you. I also wonder if my students
It's like, bugging you, lad. So ciao for now.
You're not bugging me. It's like Jess always says, "Oh, am I in the way?" I'm like, Jesse, you are the way.
And then my heart melts.
But you're not bugging me, Theo. I had a similar thought. I just didn't want to have to go through a whole art history lesson at the same time as sculpting this.
Well, I poorly phrased it. I'm just teasing you. I do like that.
Do you know I love being teased? Wait, did that sound like sarcasm? Because I actually love being teased.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. I only tease people I like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, mail. Yeah, I'm going to be mailing you a letter, and maybe something else too. And you
Do
can
you have our post boxes? P.O. box.
I just wrote it down so that I won't forget it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Actually, like, really is one of the most fun things about what we're doing. Even just like, okay, so our post box is across the street, and it is kind of a grind to get to. It's only about 25 feet away from our building, but it's like a kilometer drive or a kilometer walk because we're kind of set up around the tracks, right? So it's interesting that like we have to go so far, and it closes during strange hours, so we have to kind of hit it on the way home from school. And that's interesting enough. But when we opened the box and found letters in there, it was like, boy, are we on the right track for whatever it is this life we're doing?
You're doing an adjunct to mail art, and you will be getting mail art from me.
Love
That's
it.
so wonderful. Yeah, so everybody watching, Theo has been doing mail art for a long time. And trading art with other mail artists.
Yeah.
And it's just like a whole lifestyle.
Yeah. I actually stopped and realized when we came up with the plan for Isle of Roux, are we stepping on the toes of the it's weird saying mail art because I always feel like it sounds like exclusively for
men.
Mail art, yeah. Well, a lot of the ladies that do it make fun of that by calling it female art, but there are no rules in mail art.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. There's a lot of data and Fluxus philosophy behind a ton of mail art. So not that I practice any of those particular things, but, my mail art is, as I described something today, it's candy.
Nice.
I like that.
Turning the sound button off again so that you don't have to listen to me talking.
Now, actually, in context of what Theo was saying with the exaggerated body parts, I wanted to talk to the Venus, but I also recognize when we see that the Venus wasn't anatomically particularly very sound. I also think that, like, if you notice how one Venus connected to the next Venus, they didn't really look the same, right? They didn't necessarily look like they were done by the same person. Almost like there's a lot of forgetting. You'd sort of figure out, oh, this is how I'll do hands today, and then this is how, you know what I mean? Like the next Venus over didn't have the same funky head, right? So I wanted to do a nod to the Venus, but I didn't. I also was trying to consider that perhaps the Venus would have like from piece to piece differences, different
oh yeah, because the different Venuses they found in different spaces have like vastly gigantic differences.
Right.
I think that actually has something to do with more like that that what is that, the community consciousness, like collective consciousness, the idea of like because they're all dated to very similar times, but found in very different spaces, and they're all like, a lot of them are nomadic at that time, so like it makes sense that they move, but then it also makes sense that they have like, they're different people, so they have different like I guess, visualizations of what they wanted to remember about humor, or not remember,
Just like,
but you know what I mean?
when a kid draws, figures out what mom and dad look like,
Right.
and then they do their next drawing and it still looks like mom and dad, but it doesn't look like the last mom and dad. It's like a new attempt.
Yeah.
Because you're figuring out problem solving for what you have available.
Yeah.
And then you sort of forget. And I think that that's kind of like where the language evolves and people start to remember more. Or back to your question with like when they had the camera obscura,
Mm-hmm.
and yet were they able to visually understand that children had smaller heads, right?
Bigger, yeah.
Bigger heads, proportionately bigger heads.
Proportionately, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay, that's my guy.
Oh, I love that nose. I love that nose.
Up your nose with a rubber hose. And it took everything I had to not. Maybe next week I'll do a action figure. Okay, let's get. How much time do we have?
It's 7:51.
I wonder why Felix hasn't joined us.
Oh, here. Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. Fun.
Just taking apart resin.
Cool.
I had to make it hot in the basement because it's cold.
Yeah.
The resin won't cure if it's cold.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
My mices. I really love the negative space when you're carving lino print, and now I'm starting to put wind in the sky around the two mices. You see the wind?
Yeah. Is Simone still with us?
Yeah.
I wonder if Simone knows my Rich Taylor action figure.
Like the one that was in the window?
Oops, what happened there?
Kicked something.
Okay, I think that's this. It's back to this. Did I just turn the light off?
This is the light.
That's weird though. I wonder why that would have went off. Okay, so here's my action figure. The Rich Taylor doll. It's made out of actually rebar and duct tape. So he stands on his own. And Felix was traumatized when he asked me where I got the hair, because I was growing my hair out at the time and I needed some hair that was just the right color for my doll. And so I cut my hair off to make the hair. It actually turned quite yellow in the sun. His face is a little pale right now too. Maybe I could paint some. But he kind of bleached out in the sun. His clothes really bleached out, and I oiled them. I oiled the clothes, and it brought some of the color back into the clothes. But got some chucks on. It's quite heavy, made out of steel and duct tape. The head and the hands I made out of plasticine, and then plasticized them with some. Remember when I was doing rubber?
Yeah.
Rubber and plastic. But yeah. And I sent this with Robin to university, like, here, put this on your shelf and know that your dad is watching you all the time. And is he wearing a Lone Ranger, Mountie button? Okay. That's fortuitous during the trade war. Please buy Canadian. There's this on his back, which he doesn't need because he's got a stand. And then I've got another lady up there, which is Jess, with kind of a bald head, similar process. And then I also have the marionette, which I mailed to Robin. I wonder if Simone's with us, though.
Yeah, I think Simone was with us. And we're hoping that Gina's okay. We dropped off some artwork at Gina's. She was for G. Gina. The week we were focused on the letter G. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Are you going to put on a video?
I could.
When we went to the honey store?
Sure. Beehive. Oh, behave.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Janine.
Oh, I'm Goat.
Goat?
Yes.
Hi, Goat.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
It smells so beautiful in here.
Well, thank you.
Do you love coming to work?
I love coming to work. I really do.
I would love coming here too.
You can come and visit anytime.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
What's your favorite product in here?
Oh, honey.
What kind of honey is your favorite?
My favorite honey would be wildflower.
I love wildflowers.
What's your favorite flower, Goat?
I love dandelions.
Dandelions are most beautiful, aren't they?
They're like the sun.
That's right.
I love you have a beautiful front lawn in the springtime with all the dandelions.
We're gonna have wildflowers there this summer.
That's so nice. That's wonderful. Well, we always come whenever we start running out of things. Look, we have magnesium and nagchampa, and we get honey and chocolate. I love all of the stuff you sell here.
Well, thank you for coming to visit us today.
Thank you so much for talking with us.
Oh, thank you. I love it. It's perfect. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So we did dandelion painting
Yeah.
for the beehive.
Yeah.
I got a Bob Dylan painting over there that I should have sent before to the letter G for the globe. It's right there.
Yeah, we showed the making of video.
This one does not have a home yet. Oh no,
I
this
thought-
one's going to
Blackbird.
Blackbird Records. Yep,
'Cause
because they put on the globe, right?
The
Give
video
me
at
the
the
next
globe.
one. Hey, somebody you said liked Shay.
I don't know if the boy was representing Shay the Revolution as so much him as a person, but I can
Okay.
suss that out because I really like
I
that.
thought somebody just recently. This is a art history
Vishnu.
piece. Vishnu for V. That one can probably stay here.
This
and-
is hubris,
Hubris.
Icarus.
So these are all in my armor for whom might get a painting in the mail. And as we accumulate these, hopefully we get caught up with mail pieces.
Mom says she loves her Viking painting.
Oh yeah, was that one a surprise?
Yeah.
Good.
That's the fun part. We even got to surprise
Yeah.
Amanda and Mom because they're always so supportive and they watch everything, but we still could surprise them, which is very nice.
Yeah. So mail us a letter and find out what happened.
Find out.
Like that kid on the toboggan today.
Oh no. Where did that go?
Do you, when you use these pads, paint right on the pad and
I
cut them out after?
Yeah, because then it's nice and flat and tacked down, and
Yeah.
then
I am not going to take a risk on getting. I do love this though. You were right about this. Cutting through the wax. I do love separating them. I might have two pieces.
No, it's just nice thick paper.
You have so much more confidence on that. I see you just whipping them out and cutting them out. Like, what if you have two pieces? You're like, well, then I guess I have two pieces. Like,
Some people say I'm
Fearless.
gluttonous. Paper glutton.
you're right.
Love
It's
it.
just one piece.
This is nice paper. It's just nice paper.
I did send a link to Felix, I think. Maybe because I didn't send a link. That's important.
So you guys are talking about the bees and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one is a flower trinket dish with vintage embroidered flowers embedded in it.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's different. That's the back.
That is lovely.
And it has little butterflies in there.
Haha. That's wonderful.
And then this one has panda bears in it. And it has old jewelry.
That's
Jewelry in there.
That's so funny. It's like a trinket dish made out of trinkets.
Exactly.
That's fun.
Got any ideas for paintings?
I was going to say, do you have a favorite hue, Rich Teru?
Yeah.
What's your favorite hue?
Can't tell you.
I know what it is.
What do you think it is?
Indigo.
Well, I mean, you know I love indigo.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
But it's like, maybe we don't have favorites. Maybe we just love everything.
Well, it's not that. It's that I had a dream where I got to see a color that doesn't exist in the real world.
Right.
I thought I was going crazy, and I went through a Great Depression because I shouldn't share it. And then I found a link to Forbidden Colors. And so it's called Hyperbolic Orange, and you can only see it if you trick your eyeball into. Is this how we're going to work tonight?
With my elbow in your face?
Right?
Sorry.
I'm leaning back right now, but like that would have been in my ear if I was wrong. But you do get to see Hyperbolic Orange a couple times a year, and it will seem kind of familiar to you when I tell you that. So you can actually find a JPEG, you stare at a blue dot for like a minute, and then you move over to the yellow dot, and then you will see something like I can't remember what it's called, like cerulean blue or something. It's not cerulean blue, that's an actual color, but like there's a blue you can see that's both blue and bright orange at the same time. Hyperbolic Orange is both green and red, but it's bright. Mix green paint and red paint, and it just turns into Bluck. But you do get to see Hyperbolic Orange, and this is where I kind of stuck my foot in my mouth with Pat Daddy, because Pat was really concerned about the forest fires, and I was like, I love the colors. He's like, not when your house is going to burn down. I was like, that's a very good point, Pat Daddy. And so I do indulge in looking at the sky during the forest fires. Everybody else is complaining about the smog and the danger to their lungs, and all I can think about is how pretty the sun is. But if you stare at the sun this summer during the forest fire season, you'll find that the sun is both green and red at the same time. It's the most unearthly, otherworldly color. And I had a dream about Hyperbolic Orange and spent 6 months by myself. I'm not going to get into it tonight. I'll tell this story 1,000 times over. But I am concerned about why Felix is not with us. Video call, Felix Teru. If he's playing video games, I'm going to be mad. Actually mad. Okay, so look at, you moved over now, but you're off camera. Do you want
No,
me to
I'm
just,
not. I'm right.
okay, do you want me to adjust the camera for you, or
Everything is fine.
is it?
Everything is awesome.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
what?
love making art with you.
I love
Even
making art with you
if
too.
we're dangerous to each other because our elbows are everywhere.
I'm not dangerous to you.
I know, it's just me. Hi, me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it goes. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, except I'm the problem.
Right. Like, you don't have to be embarrassed of liking Taylor Swift.
I don't know. It's not that I don't like her either. I just don't know. So if someone's like a diehard fan, they'd be like, that's not how it goes. And I'd be like, sorry.
The Swifties.
Yeah. That's not how it goes.
Can I have some of your tea?
Yes.
Oh, my cup. It's pink.
Here's another one, Jess. This is a planter
Oh, that's nice.
with the vintage jewelry in it as well. And even earrings.
Cool.
Just something fun to do.
That is.
Repurpose old stuff.
That's important. Oh, here. I was. Well, maybe I'll keep this for when we find A. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna keep that for A.
Show it.
I made this on the weekend. It's the symbol for Artemis.
Should that go on my butt?
It could.
Okay, keep it going.
Okay. This I want to finish. It is it's a sigil for protection for the vulnerable. So if anyone has a vulnerable friend that needs protection, I make it this nice, like hefty bookmark size, but also like to just have in your desk or something. I want to finish it. I want to kind of fill in some sections. But a protection sigil. And this last week and this week we're looking at Imbolc and the idea of St. Bridget. So this is St. Bridget's cross, and I'm trying to find all my different colors so I can get the grasses going, because yeah. And actually Gina was talking about working on a refurbishing. So Gina is an incredible stained glass artist. And I want to get this right, because she actually, and I only read this after, she was saying about here. She said she loves St. Bridget. Some information. She was removed as a saint due to not enough contemporary evidence of her miracles. I always ignore those things. I really love this other saint, and she was also removed as a saint. But that's when, same thing, like the words get like muddy all of the truth of things, because I think it's just the idea of like holiness and saintliness. They're kind of just newer names for like goddesses or powerful people. She celebrated February 1st, as that's the day she passed in 525. People in Ireland build rush crosses and hang in windows and doors, mostly welcome the upcoming spring. So it's the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. In Kildare, for many years, a fire was kept burning at her birth home. So Gina did a restoration of a Harry Clark stained glass and learned a lot of interesting stuff about her. So Gina is a really, really well-known and lovely.
Okay, Zana, liked your Taylor Swift.
Thanks, Anna.
Okay, I'd like you to sing a little more Taylor Swift tonight. Yeah. Oh, is Felix on and we can't see him? Perhaps. I think that might be him right there.
Scroll. Oh, yay!
There we go. Felix, turn your
He's mute. Unmute.
Turn your screen the other way.
Hello.
Turn your phone. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect.
Yay! Hi, Felix.
Hi. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go get some cookies.
Cookies.
Felix, I've been waiting for you to show up so I can show our video.
Okay, I'm here. I'm watching.
Were you playing video games?
No. Mom, my camera's off. I'm just gonna go get a cookie.
Let's do. This is an old Space Hero X. It's like one we missed, so we have to. Felix, remember this one about the crystals?
What?
I do, but not carrying the thing through the house.
The camera's off.
I don't care. Leave it.
Dad. What are these?
Those are crystals for the Wormy Warp Drive.
Ah, I dropped them. This one says galactic detention. Cold and slow.
Yeah, pop that baby in. Pop it in.
Oh. Whew. Looks like we're approaching an icy planet. It could be a moon. It's cold here.
I feel funny.
I like that red planet over there.
Iron oxide surface. Not too far from the local star. It's got a thin atmosphere, mostly carbon dioxide, with extreme temperatures ranging from very cold to quite warm. It could be terraformed.
There's a big volcano there we could use for geothermal energy.
There are signs there was once liquid water.
If I wanted to terraform, we could have gone to Mars.
Green crystal says pain and torture realm.
Bring it on.
Here goes nothing.
I never heard that before.
That was painful. Oh, that could be Earth's sister planet.
Similar in size and structure, but conditions are incredibly harsh.
Second planet from its star has a thick, toxic atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide and clouds of sulfuric acid.
Surface temperatures can reach 475 degrees.
Celsius? Hot enough to melt lead.
Atmospheric pressure is 92 times greater than Earth's, equivalent to being 900 meters underwater on Earth.
Feeling optimistic, but now I'm feeling crushed.
Did you find that last crystal? What's it called?
The yellow crystal is called Goldilocks Zone.
Oh, that sounds promising. Pop it in. Where are we?
We're back at Earth again.
What part of Earth are we at?
Northern Hemisphere.
What part of the Northern Hemisphere are we at?
There's mountains. Seems pretty familiar.
Dad, aren't the warp crystals supposed to take us to any part of the galaxy? Why do we keep ending up back here?
Malfunction. Let's keep looking.
Don't have any warp crystals left.
That's funny because I think that one was meant to be early on because later on when we didn't have you're in my bubble. Look, you're like leaning into my bubble.
I love you so much.
I know it's driving me nuts. We're what were we doing? Yeah, and the next one when we didn't have fuel, I was like, that's on me because it was my fault we didn't have any fuel because I refused to come back to Alberta. Although maybe I need to be more nationalistic and be super proud. You don't have to be off screen.
I'm not off
Just
screen.
find a balance. Here we go. I can adjust this camera, I think. Oh, I'm off screen now. Okay.
And Jesse, you were kind of off screen because of the red things.
Yeah, that's okay. I moved the camera a bit.
Thank you.
And it's mostly just her hairline that's showing up. Do you remember that video, Felix?
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have since it's... What time do we go to? Till 9:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made the best cookies.
Look at this, Felix.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
His name is Nala.
Yeah. I can probably send you this and maybe you can scan it.
No, I'll wait.
You'll wait?
Oh,
yeah.
Can you run and grab those boxes? Or is that illegal? We bought you shoes till grade 9.
Yay. Oh, I saw them.
Yeah, good.
Shoes till grade 9.
No shoes till grade 9.
That's crazy.
I also sort of regret putting your Rickroll in that last film.
Why?
It was the realm of torture.
A long time ago, like it's a past life.
That was my idea.
I don't know.
That's obviously why it's so funny.
If anyone complains,
Can I read off random animal facts for no reason?
You have some random animals.
Oh, we have the hippo video to show after too. So yes, do some random animal facts, Felix. That'll go perfectly with our H for hippo.
Hippo.
You can do anything. I would just say we have that.
Maybe if you can pick like H animals, they won't even be so random.
Hummingbird.
Hippos are the third largest mammals on Earth. There are 2 species of hippopotamuses. Hippos thrive underwater. Hippos are a threatened animal. Hippos are herbivores. Everybody knows that.
Try not to do the ones that are from your video later.
Okay.
It's all new.
Hippos are actually all knew all these, but hippos are most active at night. Their name means river horse.
Yeah. You know what? I talk about that a lot because when you think about it, when the Europeans went and saw parts of Africa, right?
Yeah.
Then if they called hippos river horses, you can easily imagine they might have thought of rhinos as horses as well. And therefore it's not difficult to process that people that have traveled might have imagined these
hippopotamuses make their own sunscreen and they spray their poop.
Nice.
They see 2 colors.
What colors?
It's not telling me.
Is it like a red-green thing, or is it like a
probably white, black, or something? I'd say red, green.
Interesting.
I don't know. Let's go 50 facts about hippopotamuses for kids, because that's a thing. I can look that up. Oh. Haha. This is a trustworthy website, totally. It actually is, because, yeah. 10 hippo facts.
Let's do the hippo video.
Oh, yeah.
In a minute, though.
Okay. Okay, I think I already said that. I said that despite their enormous pose. They can hold their breath for 5 minutes underwater. Herds of around 20 they live in.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and they actually live for around 40 years in the wild.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is like an all-night thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Just don't take it off the paper when we take down.
No, this is like my background layer.
You need more water. Yeah. There.
Wow.
Also, when I eat some black salt. As if you're not jealous. You're the saltiest.
I am the saltiest.
What do you mean jealous? Jealous.
Saltiest.
I put salt in my mouth.
Yeah?
She looked at me like I was nuts.
What?
I do love salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see anybody else joining us?
So,
are you working on making art tonight, Felix?
I'm gonna do hummingbird facts right now.
Wait, before you do that,
let's do the hippo.
Let's do our hippo video.
Okay. Hummingbird.
Don't shake the table. Don't shake the table. My movie. Which one is it? It's not that one.
Okay.
Is it this?
Oh, we didn't do the. Oh yeah, we did the letter video.
Oh well.
Yeah. Here, watch Felix.
See you today.
The hippos.
I'm still up.
Where are we, Felix?
Hippos.
And what we were just learning about their names. Who are these guys?
So one of them is Sparky, and then the other one is Loby.
Loby and Sparky here.
Yeah.
So what do you know about hippos?
Hippopotamuses.
Do you want a hippopotamus for Christmas?
No, don't bite me. I really don't think that the fence would stop them.
Right, we were talking about if that hippo wanted to. Yeah, because they are very strong.
And, one of them is born on the same year as Jesse. And the other one is born on October 31st.
Born 1987. So those we're born in the same year. And the one in the front is Loby. And he's born October 31st. And Felix was born October. Pretty nice being in here. Why is it so quiet in here, you think, Felix? Yeah, outside, but in here it's nice, hey? Interviewing us with us there, Loby and Sparky. Good. What are more facts, Felix?
So, hippos are semi-aquatic animals, and they live most of their time underwater. So,
I'll let you know if he's coming at you.
despite this, they actually can't swim. Their bodies are too dense, so they just walk on the bottom of wherever they are. They're just walking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then they just sleep. And then, also at nighttime, they get up and go eat stuff. Like they leave the water.
Oh.
Because it's so hot there, they're always in the water to cool off. Right?
I don't know.
At nighttime, when it's colder, they get up and they go eat. They go start grass.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Felix.
Yeah, I don't think the thing about not being able to swim is completely true.
Yeah, I think I've seen video of them swimming.
But is it kind of like a moon jump, swim, walk?
Probably something like that.
It's like
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm getting more cookies.
Can you get me some cookies?
I'm curious about the activated charcoal.
Aren't you?
It's already doing cool things.
I know, right? This would have been a good time lapse.
You're showing such restraint.
Yeah, aren't I? Is that Loby? It's funny how depending on which side I'm on, I can only remove things. Oh, there's Karen. Add to stage. Karen.
Hi.
You're online with us. Just letting you know. Can't see your face. I get this terror that somebody's going to come online with no pants or something.
Oh, well, I can take my shirt off if you like, but I'm not.
Well, we can't see you either way, so you're welcome to if it makes you happy.
Oh, because I'm backstage.
Yeah. No.
Oh no, you're on
front
stage
now.
It just has your profile picture, not the camera.
Yeah.
So you're perfect. How are you doing?
Good. Had a crazy day, so feeling a little bit fried. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I think maybe is it like the week leading up to the full moon is it's not just the full moon day anymore. Now I'm giving that before and week after of the craziness.
Right. Well, and you guys are teachers, so you see that craziness more probably than anybody else.
It does flare. Yeah.
Although we have all seen quite a bit of craziness this week with the orange Cheeto.
Whoa. Lots of craziness. It is fun.
What are you
I-
painting, Rich?
Guys, most hummingbirds weigh less than 2 pennies.
What? That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It's going to be a snow leopard
Oh,
in
cool.
honor of our new pet.
Wait, you're doing what? Oh, cool.
It's going to be a snow leopard.
That's cool.
This is Felix. He's also with us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how we met? Not you, Felix. I'm your dad.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, I want to hear all about Felix.
And our letter this week is H, and you run a heritage site.
Well, no, I don't run it. I'm just like a figurehead of it, really. It's Debbie, the executive director, that runs everything there, but I'm just trying to get some stuff activated. So, I was living in Inglewood in a little house called the Little Free Library, the Little Red Reading House. And it was during COVID, and the Alexandra Center Society reached out to me to do some murals on their building. And I thought it was abandoned. And so that started my relationship with them. And I eventually got a studio in their space. And then I joined their board, and now I've become the president of their board. And so I've known about you guys for a long time, but we didn't become friends for some kind of crazy reason. I never got down to Rumble House when you guys were rolling. Always thought it would be there, and I had lots of time to do that. So when I saw the news article that you guys were not renewing your lease, I thought, oh, well, we can give you a new home. So I reached out to you, and now we're friends.
Yep.
That is so nice. And I saw your ad. I saw the ad on Facebook today that you're getting the knitting, crochet, and sewing club on Mondays going.
Yes.
So I love that. So that's at the Alexandra Center. It's right on 9th Ave. And so, like you were saying, anyone listening or anyone seeing, if you guys have ideas for groups, or if you need rehearsal space, or if you just like have an idea, and like Karen, you're so great about just like getting ideas going and just like being excited to utilize that space. So
activate.
Well, and Deb, the executive director, is too, right? Like if someone has an idea but they're not really sure how to do it, she's got lots of ideas. It's pretty great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see me taking notes in your meeting? I had so many ideas, but I didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
I guess we have to have coffee and discuss all the things, right? There's a million ideas for that place, really, right? Like,
yeah.
I really just kind of started. I talked about kind of the icing on the cake pieces of it, that it just needs to be cleaned up and pretty, and like it needs to feel like it's loved. And right now it doesn't look like that yet. So yeah.
Totally. I think that's a good place to start, so people can start seeing it. Like you said, it's such a beautiful space. And if people don't see it, then it's like they really miss out on it. So I think you have some good ideas to be starting.
Yeah. Well, I'm quite excited to get that front building painted red. I think that'll change things substantially.
How do you like our set?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Red is hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, we're a fan of the red. That is so. You just couldn't leave the salt.
I could. I also want to make it.
It's really beautiful. Actually, that's really nice too. It looks like snow.
Doesn't it?
How many kinds of snow? How many kinds of salt have you used on watercolor before?
Before?
Yeah, have you used all the different salts?
I'm using Himalayan salts, and I'm using black Hawaiian sea salt right now.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny how they all do different things. Kosher salt makes a nice mark, but I really like boring old iodized salt, table salt.
That same thing. I have iodized salt in the class because it seemed like simple and can really pull a lot of different patterns, but I never tried kosher salt yet. And this is cool. The black Hawaiian sea salt has the activated charcoal for the extra tone.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's really
cool.
I don't
Yeah,
actually.
kosher's nice because it's big flat flakes.
Yeah.
So when it sits, it makes a chunkier big mark, and it really sucks the water and pigment to it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Oh, that's fun. Amanda says she has a red wall in her room too. Yeah, red is a like really powerful color to have around.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting when we were doing the murals at the front of the Alexander Center. So I did those with Smith Wright, who's an Indigenous artist, and then Ed McGowan. He was at the meeting the other night, and
Yeah.
he's Métis. And it was, you know, we talked about having the river painted across the top of the building, and none of us wanted the river to be blue. And we all landed on red almost right away. As the blood of life, the color that brings life and energy and excitement.
I was talking about that when I'm talking about the meanings of colors with kids, because some of the kids I teach are just starting at babysitter age, and I go, tell me about the time you were in charge of a little kid, and they fall down and they're fine, and then slowly the nose starts to bleed, and they touch their nose twice, and then they yell in the weirdest language. They always go, "I gotta bleed," and it's not until they see the red of the blood that it gets scary. And I don't know why no one ever says I'm bleeding. They always say I've got to bleed. But it's interesting because there's just certain things about kids and people. We all make the same broom broom car noises. Every single one of us, no matter how far away from volcanoes you are, took the cushions from the couch, threw them on the living room floor, and pretended that the living room floor was lava, you know. And when I saw them in Inside Out, I was just so thrilled. Like, yeah, there's the lava.
Yeah, I quite love playing lava.
How we all live in the same, you know, dynamics, and the color red for every culture is always that dynamic, powerful color.
Yeah, it is.
Certain cultures use different colors in different ways, but red is one of those consistent ones, and
because it's inside all of us. Like that's if you have a bleed, you need to seek attention immediately. Like it's like a serious thing. Like
there are the oldest color, I have it right here, is charcoal. We've been using charcoal for 100,000 years. Burnt stick.
Yeah.
The next 4 oldest colors, 40,000 years ago, we're using yellow, red, white, and black. Those 4 colors you can use to mix any skin tone of any human being. And when I say mix, I mean mix them, not just like straight out of the tube. If you use those words in terms of stereotypes or caricatures, it's offensive, but there's a color palette you use to make every flesh tone, and it comes from black, white, red, and yellow. And the variations of those colors make every human being. But I think it's neat that those are also the 4 oldest colors, you know, that we've had. The next most recent color is blue. We've been using that for 10,000 years. The hot pink and bright green we've only had for a couple hundred years. So, you know, 500 years ago when they wanted to do a color wheel, they were waiting for green to come out the way that you wait for, you know, like Sonic 4 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you preach it to the choir, because I prefer to use a limited palette when I paint. So
yeah.
So beautiful. Did I just see you have what was happening? I always get my online life mixed up with real life, and I was reading a post. Did you just post something about a show or an article written about something that was just happening with you and New York?
Yeah. I just finished. I received a commission last year. I did half of it last year for a hotel in New York City, and then just finished the second part of it. So it took me the last couple of months, and it was a weaving installation, 4 big 3-foot wide hoops. So I've been working, and I actually wrecked my rotator cuff on my right shoulder. So I've been going to physio the last week.
Where do you
can't lift my arm.
Oh no.
Where do you go for physio?
Well, I've been staying with my boyfriend out in Lake Louise because he's been working out here, and so we've gone to see a physiotherapist in Canmore at altitude.
I was at physio today at the university.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
I broke and dislocated my arm. Like, okay, that's a much bigger question. But, over Christmas, I broke and dislocated my arm. Was I in a sling when I came to meet you? No.
No indication that you're broke.
I dropped a motorcycle when I was parking it and broke and dislocated my shoulder. And also learned the lesson that I was injured. And I told Jess, you need to hide the motorcycle helmets. And she's like, no, it's fine. I can carry them. I'm like, no, you need to not go into the hospital with motorcycle helmets. And they were really aggressively displeased with me. And I told a friend of mine who's a nurse, and he was like, all I hear is motorcycle helmets in December. A caregiver, not a nurse, but similar.
Right.
So I was like, please hide the motorcycle helmets.
Next time.
It was nice enough out to be riding a motorcycle, and
yeah, it was about 3 days in a row, and I waited until the roads looked really clear.
And they were clear downtown, but they weren't
bad. Where we're going? We're going to visit my mom at the care home, and it so happened that the roads were great right till we got down there, and then when we got down there, there was some still ice on the side of the road where the cars were parked. I didn't want to park my bike on the ice because I knew that the ice would melt unevenly, and the bike might. Yeah. I also didn't want to put my motorcycle right in the middle of the sidewalk, so I was sort of standing on the ice pack on the side of the road and lifting my bike up, and I slipped and dropped the motorcycle, and I probably let it just fall. But instinctively, I caught it, and when I caught it, I broke my arm and dislocated it.
Jeez Louise.
And then I slipped again, and I was doing kind of a Donald Duck. I don't know if Jess saw the second part of the slip, but it was pretty dynamic. My legs were pulling a goofy all over in directions. And I bent my leg backward, and I heard this weird boing noise, which was funny because my shoulder was so messed up that nobody even looked at my leg. But it was a combination of the leg and the shoulder that really made things awful. And then I got to take 2 weeks off, which was super nice because I never do that. I mean,
you did it,
but
and you didn't take 2 weeks.
Relatively speaking.
But
yeah,
it's good.
Yikes, that's awful. Don't do that again.
Yeah, you're good. One time, one and done.
I never get to watch people paint, so it's kind of neat.
It is really nice. It is
so
mesmerizing.
What we've learned is it's way easier for us to socialize while making artwork. If we have to socialize without artwork, it's like kind of like overwhelming. It's kind of our go-to hiding spot. And then so we do some live art. We used to do it at the Rumble House, and then we do it at the Blues Fest. That might be another good collaboration for you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Cindy McLeod is really great to talk to. Like for me, because she does programming all throughout the year for the Blues Fest. So that might be something cool. That's a good call, actually. That's really good.
Oh yeah, I mean, if she wants to include us in any kind of programming, that'd be great.
Cool. Okay, we'll connect you. That's awesome.
Yeah, because the Blues Fest goes outside all day for the weekend, but then they go to the Kirby Center. I bet you they'd love to do even more. So,
right, yeah, that's what we're hearing. Is there's lots of different groups that want to do stuff, but they can't find space to do it in, and we've got the best kept secret at the Alexander Center Society. So,
yeah.
Yeah, such a beautiful space.
Yeah, you guys might have to think about doing something when we have our Good Neighbor Party. If we can get some funding for grant money, doing some kind of art thing with you guys.
We would love to come. That would be a really fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the things we're thinking about is because we're just doing some clay tonight, is doing an all-night open fire. I don't know if this is great for you guys because it is a little dangerous, but What's the open fire thing we were talking about?
Well, it would, I think, take us to have like a piece of land at some point in our lives, because it's like, yeah, like an earthenware firing. Like we'd have to keep the fire going all night. Like everyone, yeah, to fire like a raku or like a
Yeah.
So we'll
like a brick fired oven.
Yeah.
A wood fired oven. Yeah.
Or like
that's awesome.
Oh, Felix says it. Painting's awesome.
Thanks, bud. Who do you think this is for?
Bracelet?
It's for you.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
You're talking to us, bud?
Whose magpie arm is that?
Oh, sorry, me. I'm trying to get rid of this. Rich, how do you get rid of?
I didn't see your magpie when I met you, so it's neat to see.
Oh, sorry. You just asked me to do something and then put your. It's gone.
No, you're putting it up on the screen.
Hide. What is it?
Oh, maybe I can go.
I don't think it's anything important.
Okay. Nothing. I get distracted. There's like a thing. Yeah, I have my magpie. It's Rich. Rich is my magpie.
Oh.
We do this. Here's the if you can see it, the prairie chicken. What is it?
Prairie chicken.
War chicken. I call it the war chicken. And then I was
Where's the chicken? What's the chicken?
It's a war chicken.
Here.
Look in the other
in the little screen. You can't really see it.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's too little. My old lady eyes can't see it.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
So I was getting the tattoo, and our friend who was tattooing us is like, "Yeah, I don't really like doing couples tattoos." I'm like, "Wait, what? Couples tattoos?"
That's funny.
I hadn't really thought of it that way.
Couples tattoos, and it's like she probably thinks you guys are going to start dressing the same or something.
We do dress the same. I think that's the thing is we spend all our time together.
Yeah.
And when you find something that's like, we're actually sort of like committed to like supporting products that are good products, right? So we were talking about this earlier as well with like everybody suddenly deciding to shop Canadian. Like, what were you doing before? So when we find something that works, we generally, we end up like, I got a new sweater, but then just such a nice sweater too. We sort of like buy each other things more than we for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's quite
my
different.
boyfriend would probably roll over and die if I ever showed up in something similar to him. But our taste is so different in fashion that it's hilarious.
Is your taste the same in music?
Yeah, pretty similar music taste for sure.
What are you doing right now, Jessica?
I was just looking at something.
Were you obsessing about that comment?
Yeah. And
I
then
could read you like a book.
I know, I'm so easy.
Cheap views on.
I'm just easy to read.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's why I'm going with this.
I'm not sure why that
It's
one.
okay. It's on Twitch. That's why I went here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're learning about this. Also for age, we showed the hippo video, honey. And I also found this really beautiful book. It's called How to Hold a Cockroach.
That's 2 H's.
Yeah, right. And it's just a really, really beautiful, kind of like if you ever read The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, or I don't know, kind of like Einstein's Dreams, like little vignettes that build, like the philosophy kind of builds. It's really beautiful.
Mm.
So, How to Hold a Cockroach. It's like it's written and like publishes by this guy, published it by himself through Amazon. So it's like, I don't want to support Amazon, but I want to support the guy. And he also, when you buy it, has a free audio story. It has a free audio recording in it too, so it's like, that's pretty nice. kind of like the theme is the idea is like you're freer than you think you are. Tale for all ages, a suffering boy who begins a life-changing journey when a menacing guest serves his dinner. Confronted one by by his apparent sources of torment, the boy eventually discovers the way to freedom and joy. It's really lovely.
I wonder, could you just check that your volume is turned down on your getting some feedback on our when you're speaking? That kind of underwater sound, I think, from us.
Yeah, oh, that's me.
Okay.
Is that me?
It might be us, like coming up on your machine. If you can turn the our voices off the, you know what I mean? Like try.
What am I turning off? I'm turning off.
Well,
I could mute myself.
Well, we don't want you to mute yourself if we're having a conversation. But it could be. Do you have at your disposal some headphones?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I have some someplace.
That might be the best way to do that.
Okay, I'll be.
I'm only hearing that kind of bubbly noise when Jess is talking, so I think it's us coming through on the feed.
Yeah.
Is Felix still with us?
Hi.
Hi, bud.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
What was the best part of your day so far?
I don't know. I think the whole thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is that just what you say when you don't want to answer me?
No, that's just what I say when I like the whole day. Yeah.
You've got a really good positive attitude.
Okay.
Are you making art with us tonight?
No, I don't have any art.
Oh.
Okay, bye. I'm
Bye.
just gonna go on mute for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna put another video on soon, I think. What do we got left? Present videos. How did you get this way? Lobo. Space. Highway. Oh, for highway, the letter H.
Well, that was fancy.
Because Rich drives on the highway. way too much.
There's some really good H words. I like the idea of the hero too.
Right. We do have a hero video.
That's really beautiful.
There was no one.
It's a kitty.
Kitty. You need a knife?
No,
Oh.
I used my finger.
Oh, I understand.
It's a nice kitty.
Thanks. How was your day, Kelly?
Okay.
What was the best part?
What?
What was the best part?
Talking to people, I guess, and working out.
That's nice.
Yeah. I'm actually starting next Monday the 40-day challenge.
40-day.
40-day challenge. Yeah, you go every day for half an hour to move and stuff. There's like so many different things you can do. There's rowing and all that nice stuff.
That's awesome.
I met 2 ex-NHLers there.
Wonderful.
One guy played for Team Canada. The other guy played for Los Angeles or something.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah. They're retired, so but it's kind of cool. And there's a couple firefighters there, and meet all sorts of cool people there.
That's lovely. Yeah, I think that's like the thing is the more people you meet, the more you see we have so much stuff in common.
Yeah, I've met there's another person that's an artist as well there. I can't remember her name. I don't know what she is. I met an artist today that makes boots and wool jackets.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's lovely.
I know I picked those up. I'm impulsive. All right, somebody needs to come on and talk interesting because I'm gonna mute myself. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah.
Would you just like to see another space movie?
Sure.
Have you followed any of our space movies?
I like the one of you and Galen.
Oh yeah. Well, this is our best one so far. Hold on. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
I might show this week and next week.
Whoa, look at this! Felix! This might be the one. It looks like a painting. Well, yeah, it's like a giant open world role-playing game, but more like a game that's not really a game. Never mind. Go find an NPC and start a quest.
This is it. This is the one. Come on down, guys.
Clean water, fresh air, and empty. It's perfect. Perfect if you're an introvert.
It's amazing.
Wait, so there's like nothing to pollinate the grass and the trees and the thingy bobbery boos?
Yeah, it's great. But there's kind of there's a popping sound station. Can you guys hear that?
Samples and look at the vegetation.
I'm not crazy about that sound under your feet. Give me a sec. Felix, zoom in. Dad?
Hey guys, come on down.
I think you might be stepping on the inhabitants. Oh no! Rich! Rich, get back up to the ship!
No, come down. There's no pollution. There's no big bugs.
Come down.
Come up!
Come on down!
Come up!
No, you guys come down.
No, come up!
Wait, what was that?
You are stepping on them. The planet's perfect because its inhabitants are tiny and squishy.
Oh! Okay, just beam me up. Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, this is why we can't have nice stuff. Way to go, Dimpleman. You're lucky you didn't start a war again. Again?
Uh-oh, the alarm's going. I detect a scanner on us.
Okay, punch it!
When my kids at school find out that I do space movies, they don't know how to react. We're at 8:56.
I saw someone message you about when we're talking about hue and color and the idea of language acquisition
What did they say?
simultaneous. I didn't get to see the whole message.
Oh, do you want to see it?
I didn't want to wreck it.
You can scroll back up.
It's on your phone. See, it's okay. I didn't want to. I was just gonna.
that's totally
I just
valid.
wanted to acknowledge.
We have a reason for.
So I think the other thing that's interesting about color is how language acquired words for colors. Black and white or like dark and light are always first, and then like red is next. And I can't remember exactly, but pattern across languages about the order those words are added. Yeah. So exactly that, Zana. That's exactly it. Is
Keep reading.
Oh, sorry. I started reading other things. So the idea of blue came across. Yeah, now you can. The idea of blue came across. Simultaneously, the word came, and eye color, or maybe acknowledging eye color as blue. So the idea of
the eye mutation of blue,
yeah,
was 10,000 years old.
Right.
The ancient scripts that are older than 10,000 years old didn't necessarily have a word for blue.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's like those are like some. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other things that the pigment for blue appeared around the same time as the color mutation, and the eye color happened at the same time that the words started showing up in stories. In the Iliad, they talked about the ocean being the color of wine. And there's some pretty fantastic videos that if you're dubious of this, which I was, there's some pretty cool videos where they show you how different cultures that have lots of words for green can see things that we can't see. And then they teach you how to see green. And when you see the different greens, what happens is your eye needs a moment to adjust to learn to see this green. And once you can see it, then you can't really unsee it, which is interesting as well. And that's a good beard you just painted. So it's interesting because it has to do with that your brain's not really perceiving the color until you have a word to connect it to, which goes back to hyperbolic orange. You were asking me about that color. I had a dream during the time when I was writing my TEDx talk, and in my dream I saw a color that I'd never seen before. And I woke up and I was super aware of the fact that I couldn't see any way to hold on to that memory because I didn't have anything in my long-term memory to attach the color that I saw in my dream to, and I could see it literally fading out of my memory. And it wasn't until a few months later that I discovered a write-up on the forbidden colors. And then from that point, I was able to trick my eyes into seeing what I'd seen in my dream, and the memory came back to me. So I was able to I had at one point this green dot.
Hey guys. Oh, no, did that.
What's up, bud? Felix?
Are we still muted? Oh no, we're good. Are we? Felix, are you there?
How are you doing?
Good.
Jesse, are you okay?
I was just wondering why you weren't responding to me. I thought you couldn't.
Wait.
So I kept talking.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Felix?
I don't think you can hear us.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Is your sound on, Felix?
Hello?
You're so cute.
Video call Felix Teru.
That's awesome.
Hello, Dallas. I'm going to talk about Dallas and is there a sound on, Dallas? Can you tell?
Hi, Dad.
Hi, was there a problem with the sound?
Yeah.
Is there okay, we look like we have sound on here. Can you try going back on? No, our sound is working here. You might have the volume turned down or something.
I just checked. I don't. Okay. I'll go back on.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Dallas Hockley story. Dallas was a drummer in the school band that I was marching band, and so like his sound of his drums lived in my head, and then I ended up getting a job at Cyber. Hello, bud. Can you hear us now? Felix, can you hear us now? Can you hear us now, Felix? Check the volume on your phone.
Hello?
Check the volume on your phone. Or try headphones. Okay, so I was in the marching band. Dallas's drumming was part of my brain.
Did it?
Yeah, for now. And then I worked at CyberSurf, and I knew that Dallas had quit drumming. So that was just something from having gone to work, and we had a conversation about him drumming. And then I left CyberSurf, and I was walking through the Stampede one year, which was not really where I would go very often. And I heard through the crowd what I'm going to tell you what a fist is later on, but I heard like a fist, meaning like I heard his pattern, his vernacular, his
cadence,
accent. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like his tone.
Yeah.
And so I was with Rob, and I might have even almost like abandoned her for a second, like pushed through the crowd. And of course there was Dallas drumming with the Outriders, I think. And it was pretty magic because I was just at the Stampede having a nice time, kind of minding my own business. And all of a sudden I heard this beat, and I was like, I think they were playing Sing, Sing, Sing. And I was like, that's got to be Dallas Hockley. And I pushed through the crowd, and there was Dallas Hockley, and it was pretty cool.
That's lovely.
Now, let me tell you what a fist is, unless you already know. A fist is during the Second World War, the Germans had this code machine, and it was unbreakable for a while. But what they could do while they were... Okay. Felix, try headphones. YouTube sound is working. So Felix, it might be something on your phone. Can you check and see if the sound's working on Facebook? Yeah, so what they could do, and apparently only women could do this, they would hire strictly just women to sit, and they're basically in these little dungeons, and they would listen to the Germans typing on this code machine. And if they had acute enough hearing, they could start recognizing the pattern of how they typed. So they couldn't break the code, but they could tell which which typist was typing into the code, and they called it a fist. When they started to notice the pattern of somebody's cadence when they typed, they'd give them a nickname like Johnny Rotten or something. That wouldn't have been in World War II, but
Right.
Rotten Johnny
Lefty
or something.
Lou,
Yeah,
or-
Lefty Lou. And then they would know which battalion was which because after an attack, they're able to identify and place where certain battalions were based on the typists. The people that were punching in the patterns to the code.
That's cool.
It is called a fist. I don't know if that really relates to Dallas on the drums, but it did for me.
You could hear him.
Yeah. Dallas is probably one of the coolest human beings I've ever met.
Pretty special. That's I think you were talking about something. Oh, like the kind of like the idea of how we have these connections, and we were talking about like the what is that, communal consciousness or
collective
consciousness, and then the idea of like people like just seeing us randomly online. I feel like the Isle of Roux really is it's like a pretty magic space, because you kind of have this like thought, and then you like see or hear something on it, and like, what? That's crazy. And then it's kind of, I don't know. I think that's kind of nice.
Well, and it is kind of a non-space, which is weird, because as people get way more nationalistic with the trade war impending, we're dealing with people all over the place and trying to decolonize and be less connected to any one nation and become citizens of the world and beyond, right? Like the Isle of Roux, it's kind of in space.
Yeah.
So there's a couple metaphors happening with the Isle of Roux. One of them is that it's an actual island. It's tropical. That's where Roux lives. He hasn't really entered the story yet. And the other one is that this family, Lost Hero X, this family. Hello? Hi, buddy. Can you hear us now? Felix, can you hear us now? Felix,
this character of Felix saying hello is like, he's so cute. Hi. Hello, Felix. We love you. You can hear us both going. Did you read the next message?
It's funny. Okay. Just follow us in the comments then.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Text me yes if you.
Yes, we can hear you. He's not looking at me.
It's funny because Dallas was in the same grade as Brian Mackesy, who I also quite adore. Ooh, Dallas might have been a grade higher than Brian Mackesy. Felix, what do you think of this snow leopard? With yeah, that one's for Felix. How much time we got? 9:09.
I missed the end of it. Bring it back. Bring it back.
The painting. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, wow. It changed a lot. Great job.
Slow. Look at that.
I do have a tendency to overwork.
Yeah, who doesn't?
My theory is you should ruin every painting.
But you know what they say? 20% underdone's better than 2% overdone.
I disagree. I'll draw you a chart. Let me tell you why I disagree, okay?
Oh.
I don't mean to be argumentative. Let's say this is where I start my painting. And then I get to here and I have an achievement and I should stop and I know it should stop, but I don't. I keep going. And then I have another achievement. I'm like, ooh, that's great. And you know what's coming. I should stop, but I don't. And then I get to here and it's like, bam, and I crash, right? And that's why you should stop here or here, but not here. But my theory is, now that I've raised up at this point, when I start my next painting, I'm starting from this bound of knowledge and I'm shooting up, and so I'm shooting up, and then I'm crashing, and then I'm shooting up. Whereas I feel like if I just play it safe, I'm shooting up like this, right? And I get way higher by making mistakes and not playing it safe. So yeah, maybe this painting's better than this painting, right? But this painting is better than that painting, and this painting was better than both of those paintings, and it's also better than this painting that I ended up with. But I really believe long term, the long game, you should shoot to ruin your paintings a couple times before you give up. And
You sound like an educator.
Sure. And Jess in our family is the archivist. I am not. I have no attachment to the work once I'm done. So when I'm done, it's like, yeah, this paper is going to fall apart. I'm going to do another piece of paper, but I'm not like looking at the piece thinking, ooh, that matters to me. I'm always looking at this journey, and I want to get as high up as I can before I start the next painting.
Mm.
But I do hear what you're saying is that if you're looking to save pieces, definitely stop before you go out of line.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's a perspective too, right? Because you're doing art just for the sake of doing art and being creative and getting it out of you. Whereas I make art to sell my art. And so I don't want to wreck it. I want to sell it.
Yeah. I do art because I can't not make art.
Yeah.
I did have to sell 2,700 paintings to keep Rumble House open.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't keep a penny of it, but now I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm just giving my art away. But yeah, there was a pressure at Gorilla House and Rumble House that we don't like to talk about it, but I think about 80% of our rent came from my art sales. So if I got sick or injured, that was a $500 injury, right?
Right. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
I both emphasize with having to sell the art, and also after 12 years of this, we kind of calculated it out that had we put any of that money into ourselves, I think Jess, Felix, and Rich could have bought 2 Mustangs and a Camaro, or a Mustang and 4 Volkswagens. So,
sounds like a down payment on some land.
Yeah,
for doing some raccoon firing.
We could have had land if we didn't have the Gorilla House, but what we have instead are friends. Like you, we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for the Rumble House.
That
so
is true.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
Where did my knife go?
Richness comes in many ways.
Totally.
We have a kind of wealth that's not attached to money.
Yeah.
Right. Which is great.
No, it should be on the table. Unless you moved it.
I didn't.
It's just we're blind to it. We've seen it so many times that it stopped registering to our eyes.
Truth.
So I went to this amazing arts event put on by the city last week.
Yeah.
And it was for more like event planners and people or organizations that could host public art and do that kind of thing. And it was pretty amazing. It was like a 4-hour session and it felt like 15 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah. So I connected with a woman who is she's the Indigenous curator. Talked to her about trying to get some Indigenous art around the property.
Amazing.
At the Alexander Center. Yeah. Yeah. She had amazing ideas. And then talked to the person who's on the executive board of the, what's it called? Chinook Blast.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So we're going to be a site for Chinook Blast next year.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right? Exciting.
Guys.
I feel like
I muted you while Karen was talking. Sorry, Felix.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
What did you do to fix the problem?
I left.
Oh, you just
and came back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that you can see the problem and you're like
You kept moving it.
I know.
Now it's not just me that's the problem.
No, like you could see that you could see it and I like bugs in my mouth.
Yeah. There.
I could tell, I could feel your anxiety while I was trying to fix it.
Let's stop it.
Okay, bye guys. I gotta go now.
Are you going to bed, bud?
What?
Are you going to bed?
I just gotta go.
Okay, you have a new
Yay.
follow bracelet.
Yay.
And we ended up getting you look at the little.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then I made you
only
a
get the good
painting.
ones.
I'm going to mail it to you. So Felix,
No,
write
no,
down the post
no,
box,
no.
PO Box 1035, and send us a letter, and I'll give you that.
No, I just want to wait until Friday and then pick it up.
That's not how we do it. I want you to
No,
write me a letter.
that's how I'm doing it.
How fun will it be to open up the mailbox and find your own letter?
Not very fun because then I
Way
have
more fun than opening the mailbox and not finding any letters. I think we got 2 letters the first week, and it ended up being like our new expectation that we're driving to the post box every day to see the new mail, and it's not there. Look how similar Kelly and Theo's displays are.
Theo's showing us the letter, the envelope. That is amazing. Theo, just giving us things to look forward to.
That is nice.
I'm showing you. Yep, there you go. This is the envelope you will be getting mail in.
That is amazing.
Okay, bye guys.
There will be something special in it, as well as a letter.
Yeah. And we have permission to read your letter online. I think we're going to kind of wing that as we start to find letters. We'll sort of read them, and if we start to go like down that path of, ooh, let's not finish this one, that'll be like we'll just have to really be.
One thing about mail art is once you put it into the postal system, it's no longer yours.
Yeah.
And the receiver can do anything they want with it.
Nice.
So if you want privacy and all of that stuff,
don't send it.
Probably don't become a mail artist, or don't be you're going to have to develop a thicker skin. I mean, most mail artists are pretty respectful, but if people aren't, that's just, oh well, yeah, fine. You just cross you off the list of ever sending anything to you again, kind of a thing. That's about, it's the only reasonable response.
I agree.
I wonder how Felix fixed that problem.
I like learning about this different culture too, the idea of the mail art culture.
Oh. Yeah,
I think he did just like a hard reset. He exited out and came back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time-honored reboot.
It's pretty cute imagining little Felix on his own in his bedroom, other side of town, trying to figure out the problem-solving skills that it takes to be on the show. It's pretty neat that he's functioning, and like when he sort of like randomly pops in and out, like yeah. As we massage out the etiquette involved in trying to do this thing,
It's pretty nice having everybody come.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about what Karen's doing with this space too. They're trying to meet lots of different people. The idea of trying to get everybody to come, everybody's welcome, and making.
Did we cut Karen off? Is she still with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, good.
I'm still hovering.
We're absolute barbarians with our manners on this broadcast.
It's pretty fun.
That's good.
I think it's coming across pretty quirky, which I feel is probably what you're trying to do.
I love when people say things like quirky and then I pretend like I don't know what they're talking about. I learned that skill from my friend Galen. He was wearing a duck tie. And I made the comment about him being a nerd, and he looked at me like he was offended. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But like generationally, I guess like maybe when he was a nerd, because he's a little older than me, that meant like getting your, head stuck in the toilet when you're in grade 8. Whereas like for me, like in the kids we teach, nerd is like you're an outsider if you're not a nerd. So nerd culture kind of took over. But like, he came like parent teacher interviews. He's a teacher wearing his duck tie. And he made a comment that kind of like, I did sort of like, and I'd known him for a while, but I'm like, the tie's like unusual, right? Like, and he just looked at me deadpan, like, what are you talking about? So, I'm still not really, to tell you the truth, where he stands on that.
Okay, quirky in the best way I could possibly mean.
Yes, I would agree. This is that.
Yeah, like I would say that if anybody who jumped on this right now, they'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Somebody did that last week.
Space videos and like from kitchen tables.
It's not much better if they know us. You know?
It actually adds a level. Yeah, that's true. One of the teachers was like, so I saw a space video of you last. I was like, oh yeah. What did you think of it?
Wasn't it great?
Suss out like the feelings of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be quite supportive.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they're like, yeah, good job.
Or like they're like, I can use this. I find like mostly if it comes up in front of my tough kids, like the kids you're kind of expecting to really stick it to you at school, they're like, yeah, that's cool. It's like, wait, that's what you think is cool? Like,
isn't that fascinating?
Humans are fast, infinitely.
Right? The tough kids, what tough kids will actually, what will make them open up a little soft underbelly part of themselves.
Tough kids,
totally.
Tough kids love puppets for sure. Over COVID, that's when we started doing puppets. We kind of tinkered with puppets before, and then we ended up teaching kind of in a format like this from behind a computer screen. And strangely enough, more to do with my anxiety of talking to a block with a light on it, which is what our camera looks like. Yeah. I started doing puppets. Now I'm sitting there with a bunch of teachers. Couple problems they had. One, they had no control over the kids because they couldn't give them detention. Then we stopped grading. So like, if I can't take their grades away, how can I make them do the work? And I'm like, I guess it's going to have to start being fun, guys. So and
what a novel concept.
I'd already been teaching with puppets for 2 weeks. And I forget about this. I think there is an article about me in the Cochrane Eagle.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Travis was doing explosions and I was doing puppets.
Yeah.
And they called the school saying, like, what are you guys doing to keep kids engaged while they're
at home?
At home. And Travis like, oh, you want to talk to Rich? And I was like, I was actually like, sometimes it's way weirder telling people about puppets than actually doing the puppets, which is weird, right? Like, because it is hard to explain, hard to put into words, especially when they ask you things like why, the puppets.
That's another thing that's like connecting all people, because I think there's like puppetry in some kind of form in all. Oh, sorry, I'm talking with Zana. You can keep painting.
Yeah.
There's some kind of puppetry in all cultures as well, and that's a very human thing, and it's a very like truthful thing, like honest, and like people can get to deeper truths that way too. So I feel like that's
right.
You can't explain it, but like inherently when they see it, it's like,
because you're right. Long before COVID, we were doing the puppet interviews or the provocative discourse with birds.
And like Richie the Ape and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Richie the Ape, was that before COVID?
Yes,
You're right. You're right.
So we had lots of puppet like going on before.
I just had a false memory where I said that happened during COVID and we were already doing it.
It's okay. Memory's weird like that.
Yeah.
So did you do like little action or like plays and stuff with the puppets, or did you actually teach kids how to make puppets? And then they could come up with their own characters. And
I replaced myself with a puppet. So instead of my face being on screen,
gotcha.
The bird version of myself would just hold class. And now I have been a lifelong fan of Jim Henson.
Oh God, yeah.
I have read a lot about Jim Henson. And so there's certain aspects about just having read a lot about Jim Henson that really helps with those setups. Like one of the things that he did that was exceptional was he figured out that puppetry had always been limited to this box. The puppet theater is a big part. Yeah. Ronnie Burkett's show really was based around the puppet theater and his mentor, the puppet theater. But Jim Henson was able to sort of early on be a pioneer in starting to visualize the TV box as the puppet theater. And when he started understanding that the TV was a perfect replacement for the puppet theater. That's where he'd start like near, far, near, far. I'm near, I'm far. No, I'm near, I'm far.
That's near.
And so he was like immediately just messing around with the lenses and seeing what he could do to turn the box that was his puppet theater was in people's living rooms. And that was one of the things that really drove him. So having had that idea that like literally like our camera it looks like a dime attached to a chocolate bar with a light bulb. Like it's more like a block of cheese than people. And also being a fan of Mr. Dressup and Mr. Rogers, the two of them had the same belief that for what they were doing to succeed is they had to treat the camera like it was the most important person in the world. And then speak to that camera for each child to look into that camera and really feel the weight of how much that child was being cared for in that moment. And
yeah,
this is funny because that drawing I did about my bar graph for success in ruining paintings is underneath this cat, which I like quite a bit better than my other cat. It's quite a bit loosened up quite a bit. But I also have these weird felt marker lines showing through. Are you a bit of a watercolor purist?
Yeah.
I am not.
I can tell. You just kind of go for it, which is great.
Yeah.
I think I teach a lot of adults how to do watercolor.
Yeah.
So I've had to be like, okay, you have to do all this planning. You have to be organized. You have to know what layers you're going to do first. And I think with starter watercolorists that they get very panicked about that piece of paper being perfect.
Yeah. I find it's when I go back in and I paint with white that really upsets people. But
totally. Well, purists for sure, yeah.
Yeah. And my painting
you just say you're working in gouache and it changes everything.
My white is gouache.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And honestly, like when you're painting on camera, no one would know if you're painting gouache or watercolor.
Yeah. I keep a healthy mix. I find the colors I use the most run out first in my Winsor Newton set. And then what I do is I fill in. Is that what your palette looks like? No.
Oh, totally. Yes. Yeah. I am not. I'm the kind of person that I have all those paints mixed up. I am not wiping them out.
Yeah.
Like, no, not a chance.
When I run out of a color in the watercolor, I usually replace it with the gouache.
Well, I think that's why I use a limited palette. Is because then I just have 4 colors with watercolor and less chance of running out. Although I do run out.
Of course.
We as a family, yes, Rich and Felix, when we go places, and that could be anywhere, we take little paint sets, and that's how we end up. It's like our excuse to sit down. Otherwise, we won't sit down. And so wherever we go to the zoo and we sit down and we plunk down and start painting. And always like one of the kids at the zoo walking by will start looking around for where the paint sets are kept. Like, oh, this looks like a good exhibit. We're just sitting on the floor. It's nice, actually. We start bringing extra paint sets for strange kids.
Oh,
that come by.
Strange kids.
I don't mean like they're strange. It's strange to us.
That's funny.
Estranged kids as we get distracted and Felix wanders off.
But he comes back. Well, because you guys have the paint.
Always.
He is pretty good at that, yeah.
How old is Felix?
He's either 7, 12, or 72, depending on what he's doing.
Gotcha.
He's really the funniest little old man you'll ever meet. And then sometimes he's just so sweet. He started school young, and it's hard to imagine he's in grade 7. I guess, like, chronologically, you would call him 12, but there's nothing about him that seems 12. He's either too sweet to be a teenager or, in his late 70s.
So he's still sweet. He doesn't have the heavy eye rolls happening yet?
He's pretty good at eye rolls, but...
So, myself and both my sons... it's a little more obvious that we're on the spectrum. And Oliver's older and Felix is younger. But it turns out that a lot of autistic children
Yeah.
And
okay.
I only just realized it's a defense mechanism rather than like a social comment.
I hang out with a 12-year-old girl in Innisfail who's really kind of crazy, brilliant, autistic, and she has a bit of an eye roll, but it happens more from stress.
Yeah,
and it's both her eyes will roll up at the same time. But
she's looking away from the problem. I actually talk about this quite a bit because
I think it's called stimming. Is that right? Is that the right term?
I have a really difficult time looking somebody in the eye when I shake their hands.
Oh, really?
And I mean, you would call me high functioning, but it's partly because I just had a really fastidious mother that was able to like help coach me with some social skills. And like, so if I was to go shake somebody's hand, I really have to talk myself into not looking away as I shake their hand. And I know it looks sketchy when I do. So I really,
because you're concentrating on it so much.
So,
yeah. And then and I've gotten better at it. Like lately, I'll even like joke about it. I'm like, here, let me try that again. And
that's good.
Yeah, like if I was being interrogated by the CIA, they would think I was lying about everything. And I also think I've kind of known since I was a small child that if I had to go to court in those situations where you're just supposed to answer yes or no, I'd probably be sent to jail for contempt of court, because they'd be like, all right, so is it true that you did this? I'm like, well, not exactly true or false, you know, and they're like, just a yes or no answer, and my head would explode.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, the world is a little more complex than you're presenting it right now, sir. Yeah. That's actually that line that I just said was actually the first stage of me discovering, like, I knew I had all the codes. When I discovered I was on the spectrum, it was because I was at work in the staff room, and a friend of mine who was also a teacher had come up to me with a request. And the request was, I need to ask you a question about art, but I don't want one of your bullshit stories. And so just a one-word answer. I'm like, oh, I'll do my best. And then she asked me something about color. I'm like, oh, you know, it's a little more
Jesus. Yeah, one-word answer about color. Give me a break.
I don't know.
she blew up at me. And I, as a male, I was conditioned to hide my feelings. So as she blew up at me, I could feel like, I don't know if you know this, but we all have feelings. And mostly people of my age and you know, supposed gender were conditioned to not show when we felt like. So it's not that men don't cry. It's that when you feel those tears coming, you hide them and you bury them. But I remember feeling like this is what it feels like when you're filled with rage and you want to let the chemicals out. And I had this experience where I thought, well, what if I let myself cry in front of this person? How would that change the situation? So I just kind of wept a little bit. And I said, you know how hard it is for me to be a teacher. She was actually the teacher in charge of taking care of kids with neurodiversity. So she was mortified. She upset me so much. She had no idea. But I was like, look, you're yelling at me and I'm trying to give you an answer, but I don't have it in my head. And then I went home and I was like, well, there must be a name for when you think in pictures. And I'd kind of over about 20 or 30 years figured out that was this will really shock you if you're a purist. I just start drawing on the paper with the end of my tube. So I was like, there must be a name for when you just randomly, when you see pictures instead of words. And that's when I discovered my first steps into, it's not attention deficit, and it might not be
or
dyslexia, or it might not be this or that, but it's more akin to autism. I did weep a little actually at that point too. Like, why does this hurt my feelings more than the others?
Huh.
But wholeheartedly, I have kind of a visual understanding inside my head. I would even describe it at the back of my head. And then there's kind of a tunnel towards the front where I turn things into words and speak to other people. And I've actually gotten pretty good at trying to break down what it's like to be inside my head over the years as well. But it was very difficult for me to try and explain what that was like. And I'll actually have kind of understandings of things that don't have like words for them. Like I'll understand a situation intuitively, but I can't turn that into something I can express to Jessica, for example, unless I'm like babbling about, and mostly discovering what I'm thinking as I speak.
And do you think that that's autism, or is that more ADHD? I mean, those things cross over quite often, but for me with the ADHD, it's I think I feel similar about.
I think the people that make these labels tend to be neurotypicals, and I don't think any two people are alike. And I think we have these ways of describing.
Right, we're all spectrum.
Yeah,
right. Everybody in the whole planet is spectrum on everything.
And a good friend of mine has asked me, like, have you considered? Like, I have a ton of diagnosis. I don't know. I haven't ever approached the clinical diagnosis of autism because I've spent so much time learning about myself. I would have a really hard time trusting the explanation of me to a stranger, right? Like I've spent all day, every day for 40 years thinking about how my brain works. And I have a certain amount of distrust for, the first 20 years of my life, they kept putting me in this quiet room saying I didn't need distractions. And it wasn't until I realized I need to be in a soup kitchen with lots of distractions that I can function. So I started like reading in the cafeteria at school with my headphones on. And if I was at home, I might have the TV on and a radio on and a record playing at the same time. And that's where I sort of my comfort zone for being able to crack open Foucault and doing some heavy readings is I need a lot of outside stimulation. But because of the distrust I have, like, oh, here's the solution. Like if one more person in my life gives me a day timer, and then as a teacher, they're often
I'm giving you a day timer next time I see you. That's awesome.
The problem is I can hold 102 things in my head. I might not be able to hold 104 things in my head, but I can hold about 100. Most people can hold like 30 things in their head. So I can juggle 100 and some days 102, 100, some days 120. But if you give 100%, but if you give me a day timer, now there's 3 day times. I got to look at the day timer. I got to write in the day timer. I got to remember to use the day timer again. So for each of my 102 things I need to remember, it's multiplied by 3 when I try and factor in that day time. Plus, I'm beating myself up when I forget to use the day timer 6 out of 7 times. So I put up my day timer. I got a note from like early in the morning. Then there's like 4 hours of stuff I forgot to write down, and then another note from a couple. So it's really traumatic to me when neurotypicals give me their solutions to my problems, because I got to figure out my own problems. And actually, that comes full circle to the story about the watercolors. I had this really bright student who asked me to teach her how to use watercolor. I'm like, they're right over there. And she's like, no, like, but would you teach me how to use watercolor? I'm like, well, just pick up the paintbrush and stick it in the paint, move it around and learn things. Like, that's how you do it. And then, but she wanted she wanted lessons on like which salt to use and that sort of thing.
Right. Well, send her to me if she hasn't learned it yet.
I think she's probably a teacher by now. That was early in my career. We will promote your classes though. When you tell us when your classes are, we can put them up on here. Oh, so Amanda has a question.
Oh, we'll send you the link.
Try it right now, Amanda. Try clicking on that here. I'll post it again. It should have a duck on it, I think. It used to. Did it come up? Hang on, Amanda. I got you. Okay, here's the StreamYard. Oh, I know. Hold on. I'll just go invite again. Copy. Okay, Amanda. What's Amanda on Twitch or?
Yeah.
Okay. I think what we found with Felix is you need to have a YouTube account or a Facebook account to join in. So try clicking on that, Amanda.
And it'll give you the choice to either continue with
And we normally zoom out at 9:36, but since it's 9:40 and there's a chance you might join us, we're gonna wait here for a second.
Even if we just try it out and figure it out.
Yeah.
First. Can I see that?
Yeah, I think I have somebody on the phone here. That was weird.
No, it's the sounds. From
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I quite like this one. It's a little wild.
Love that.
It's not even
Look at him. Look at that look at his face.
Even close to anatomically correct, but this is more how I like to let my paintings loosen up. My other one's a little stiff.
Hey guys, I'm going to go write a letter to you now, so I'm going to leave.
Oh, so nice seeing you.
Theo, if you'd like any of the
Mailing it, I won't be mailing it until the 12th. So,
Oh, that's okay.
ciao for now.
Take
See you,
care.
Theo.
Bye.
Okay, hold on. Where?
That is fun. Should we?
I just want to see if Amanda gets in.
No, it's good.
Can you not lean on the table like that?
Sorry.
You have to fix it.
Oh, we should put you in your face now.
Oh, that's fine.
I love your face.
Okay, Amanda. I wonder if Amanda gets our type back messages on.
Oh yeah, they go to all of the.
They do? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it went to.
Okay, Kelly. Next week, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just my hands are sticky.
We're just saying goodnight to you, Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Did you have anything you wanted to show before you go?
Did I want to show? There's nothing to show. I'm pouring stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Do you have anything you finished nearby?
Yep. Just a sec. Let me take my glove on. Oh, this. These two guys.
Very nice.
So gnome, and then the bee gnome.
Cute.
What's the gnome?
Awesome.
What's the gnome?
What's his name?
He doesn't have a name. He's just bee.
Can you name him Chomsky?
No.
Sure, if you want to name him.
Love it. Okay, good night, Kelly.
Night.
Thank you so much for joining us too, Karen.
Karen, did
Yeah,
you
it was a blast.
show us anything or visually?
Sure.
Or?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Hang on.
Here, just get rid of that top comment. Hide the current comment. Nice. More space. You've been doing it too. I didn't say anything.
I'm like twice your weight. And I put my weight on the table here so you it's steady. I'm looking at the cameras and stuff.
I made it back.
Let's put you on big.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So I took a ceramics class recently. And so this is what I was working on today.
That is beautiful.
Were you here when I was doing ceramics?
What's that? You were doing ceramics tonight?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Where do you take classes?
Just in Innisfil. The art teacher in Innisfil has a kiln and I think 5 wheels, and he does a couple classes every year. And he grew up, his mom was a potter, and so he's been throwing since he was like 4.
That's beautiful. He made a male, we were talking about the Venus of Willendorf, and so he was making a, we were
Awesome.
talking about how it's hard to not know what you know. So when you know about anatomy, it's hard to make things childlike and like primal or like base.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at
I was trying to simplify and make it a little.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's cool. We're all doing clay today.
Fun.
Here's my
Yeah.
action.
I think I made 6 cups and I made a couple of, oh, look at him.
Can't tell which is the real Rich, can you?
He's awesome.
This one's
great.
out of rebar and duct tape and plastic. So
And he's wearing chucks.
Yeah.
And that's my real hair, I hate to say.
I love it.
You know, traumatized that I cut my own hair to make it.
That's fantastic.
That's so fun.
Okay, guys, it's been a blast.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you so
joining us.
much. And thanks for showing your work too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, and let's have a telephone conversation soon.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk soon. Nice seeing you, Karen.
Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, where's my whistle? Okay, in
I don't
stream.
even know.